There's a rumor going around in the comment section of my videos that I am a Norwood 2, which I am not. I'm not a Norwood 2, I'm a Norwood 3. And I'm making this video to demonstrate that. Now, I appreciate the optimistic perspective that some of you are providing and saying, Nick, you're not 3, you're Norwood 2. I appreciate that. I accept your compliment, and I'm grateful for that. I ultimately accept your compliment that the way I translate that is, Nick, you're so good at knowing the right hairstyle and for your hair to make it look like you're a Norwood 2. I take it that's the compliment that translates to me. But I want to prove to you that I really am a Norwood 3. And yeah, the rosemary oil that I use every night helps the appearance that my hair is thicker than it is. But we're just gonna dissect this whole thing. Now, if you haven't, I did it right before this video. I pulled up on my phone, I typed in Norwood, and it shows you the chart, and I went through, and I'm gonna prove to you that I'm not Norwood 2. I'm definitely Norwood 3. So now, before I do that, this is how most people see me. This is the view of reality they see when they see me on a daily basis. So let's just take it all in before I really pull back the curtain. This is what most people think that my hair consists of. All right, here's where we go from Norwood 2, the appearance of Norwood 2, to Norwood 3. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull my hair back and we're gonna look at this. Now granted, I know that my eye itches. I know that on Norwood 2, I realize that there's still this kind of M shape based on the chart I looked at. But that's not what we're gonna focus on. What we're gonna focus on is the fact that, and I wanna make sure this isn't blurry. I think I can even see it in this shot. My hair is thinning in this portion right here. And on certain days, especially as I put in the oil every night, what is it called that I just said? Rosemary. I put the oil all in there. And I feel like sometimes I find a specific spot, like right in here, where it just too naturally just kind of falls apart. For me, that could be the sign of, with the whole peninsula, well, as you transition into Norwood 4, like the peninsula is going to become the island. So I'm wondering if that is the first sign. You may not see it in this camera, but I see it at night sometimes. That this could be the first sign of the peninsula becoming an island. It's possible. Now, another thing about Norwood 3 compared to Norwood 3, Norwood 2 compared to Norwood 3, is the thinning. From what I can tell in the charts, the Norwood 2 doesn't have thinning. It's a hairline that goes, a little bit further back, but it's not thinning. Now, here's another way to look at it too. Instead of me just simply doing this, instead of me simply just doing that, another way to look at it is this, is to kind of pull this together to show you what that looks like. I think you'll see, I have probably even less than you think that I have when I do like that. You see? So look, that's more realistic of what I am. That's more of a reality. And even from that angle, you can see that it's getting to where you can barely see the top of my head having hair on it at this point. So that's going to be a more realistic view of what I'm dealing with. Now look at this. Without me turning my head over like that for you to see, if you're looking at me head on right now, see, that's how it actually looks. If you're looking at my facial profile right now, all you can really see as far as the hair on top of my head, you see this little part, but really I'm a head. I'm a head with just a little bit of hair. That's how I actually look. Now, I think that alone should prove to you that I'm Norwood 3 and not Norwood 2. But I'm going to turn around, and I don't know how well the camera will capture it. But remember, something that really sets apart Norwood 3 from Norwood 2 is the thinning. Now again, maybe you can't see the thinning that I see on a regular basis, but right in here, it is thinner. It's not horrible, but it is thinner right there. And when you look on the Norwood 3, you're going to see the beginning of that. Maybe it's not bald, but it is definitely thinner there. So if I wasn't experiencing thinning, I could say, okay, maybe I'm a Norwood 2, but even then, it really goes back a ways. I mean, I really want to show you this from as many angles as I can to prove to you that I'm really good at having the right hairstyle and putting in the rosemary oil. I'm really good at that. I'm really quite an illusionist, because in most videos you're not going to see this. But that's the reality. Now, granted, there's no reason for me to have that. But even now, I mean, consider if I were to buzz my hair off at a number 1.5, I mean, granted, for people who are looking at the pigment to see where my hairline was, I mean, that's ultimately what they would see. I mean, it's funny because I'm not surprised to see what I see right now. But I mean, it goes a long way to have enough length to hide this and to downplay it. So, from now on, when people leave me comments saying, Nick, you're really a Norwood 2, I guess I'll just have to put the link to this on there to prove, because surely everyone who watches this will believe that I'm Norwood 3 now. And some might even be tempted to say, man, are you with Norwood 4? But remember, based on what I can see on the Norwood chart, Norwood 4 is going to have a more specific bald spot and more obvious thinning right here. You can see it if I point it out, but it's not just an obvious thing to most people at this point. So for me, that's my understanding of why I'm truly a Norwood 3, because I do have some thinning, but I don't have obvious thinning, which is more the Norwood 4. So that's about as good as I can do. I'm about to go to bed anyway, it doesn't matter. So, did you find that helpful? I did. I learn a lot about this myself by making these videos. So, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But surely this puts that to rest, right? I'm clearly Norwood 3.